Hi there, it's Melissa here, and I'm back today with a layout that I made with my December hip kit. Someone had made a comment on one of my videos that they loved seeing the last few layouts that I made when I got down to the scraps of a kit. So that's what this is. I think this might be the second to last one that I made. I'm aware that I've already shared my layouts yesterday in layout share. And what I'm doing here is using one of the branding strips, and my trimmer hadn't cut it very straight, so I'm just trimming off the excess. And the cut file that you see is one of the exclusives. It was a wreath with flowers on it, but because I had done something with my silhouette with the blade, it was my fault. I hadn't, um, it didn't cut properly, and so rather than just throw the whole thing away, I've cut the flowers off and I'm using what's left. And as you know, I have already made one layout with the full cut file, so it's not like it's going to look like the other one, or you know what I mean. So here is this beautiful paper. I think it's crepe paper, and it's got the crosses on it. The B side is a beautiful pink pattern, and I'd used a lot of that on other layouts, so I knew that I wanted to use this piece. And one thing I try to do with my kits is challenge myself to use every single piece of paper, A and B side. Unless I'm using a whole piece as a background, that's not going to happen, but because I do a lot of layers, it works really well when I've cut them apart. So for this one, I thought that the Swiss crosses went really well with the first aid theme. These are 3 photos of Brielle. She broke her arm last October, and Sean took her in to get it x-rayed. I was still pregnant and still unwell then, and I'd actually just been in hospital, and I was in hospital when it happened. And she had done the whole, cry in the night and couldn't sleep and said it hurt, and my mum's instinct said that it could be broken. So it was. It wasn't a bad break, it was just a small break. But she got to pick a cast, and she chose a dinosaur one. And so this whole layout is about her dinosaur cast. And of course, because I wasn't there and being married to a scrapbooker, my husband knows the importance of taking photos for me to document. And so with 3 kids at this point, Brielle was the only one that's ever broken anything, so definitely a scrap-worthy topic. These photos were just taken on his phone, and I find that because I'm so used to my good camera that phone photos aren't the best quality, and so if I print them quite small, then they look a lot better. So pretty cute, these photos. One with her cast, a close-up, and then just a really cute one with her hand behind her back. I'm not really sure why she did that, but she just looks cute, so I had to include it. So what I'm doing now is using my scraps to try and make it look like I've got more paper than I actually do. And so I do this by trimming and gutting, and then just building my layers behind my photos. And I love the way this turned out, because in some instances it's really obvious that it's not a full sheet of paper, but then I love the way that looks. So just trimming off and straightening up some of the edges, and I've sped this up because I wanted you to see the whole process. I didn't want to cut any of it out. So I love that wood grain as well. I was happy to get that on the page, because I think the other side of it could be that sketchy floral, and I'd be tempted just to use sketchy floral for everything. So I'm using some foam for that photo in the middle just to pop it up. And now I want to check and make sure that all my paper layers are going to cover the gap in this cut file. So I really want it to look like it's a full circle, even though, you and I know that it's not. This paper here is from My Mind's Eye. It's gorgeous minty colour with silver dots on it, and it's just beautiful. I think I probably used every last scrap of it, and had to cut it and use it on multiple layouts. I just needed it to go a long way. So I'm just working on placing it, and as you can see, I've kind of gut out the middle so that nothing is wasted when it comes to this. I did think about turning it over and using the other side, which is just plain, but in the end I had to use the silver polka dots. So I think that might be the only piece of paper where I loved the A side so much that I didn't even attempt using the B side. So now I'm just fiddling around, making sure it's going to work. Having to add another piece just below that, because as you can see it's not going to cover that gap. And there's lots of exclusive hip kit papers in this kit, and that's one of them there, I think. So just positioning it so that I know it's going to bridge that gap. And see, I even trimmed off some there because I didn't want to waste any. I cut my white cut files on American Crafts textured cardstock, so that one has got the texture on one side, but I like the smooth side when it comes to this. So at this point I'm thinking that I need to do something with the cut file because it's a bit plain at the moment. So I've pulled out my Close to My Heart watercolours and just my matte, which is filthy, and yeah, I'm just now watercolouring it. And before I forget, this video does cut off at the end because I run out of battery in my camera and I don't realise, so I'm going to apologise in advance for that now, but you will see the final layout at the end and most of the process is captured in this video. So I'm just using the cap of the water brush just to hold the cut file down, and I'm not being perfect with this. I'm not by any means a watercolouring artist. I love doing it though, and I want it to look a bit uneven, so that's what I'm doing there. I've really got a thing for wreaths at the moment. I think I've already said that in one of my other videos. So I'm putting that aside to dry, and then I've gone ahead and stitched with my machine just across that, just to adhere it and also to provide a bit more interest. So now I'm at the point of adhering my third photo, and I just do that with double-sided tape. I haven't included that in this video because it's really not that exciting. So what I've got behind the top layers of my photo cluster is that it's American Crafts glitter tape. Sorry guys, you're probably wondering why I'm having trouble talking. It's because my baby, she's 14 weeks and she decided to wake a lot last night like a newborn, and then I have basically been feeding her all afternoon right up till about 9 o'clock tonight, and I think it's a growth spurt. So if you're wondering why I'm having trouble, that's why. Okay, so now I'm gluing that down with some Tombow. I did think about stitching as well, but the cut file is quite thin and I just like it the way it looks. So now I'm just positioning my photos. That's the tape, like I said. But before I do that, I'm wanting to adhere these crosses that I've fussy cut out, and I have off camera put some dimensional adhesive behind them just to pop them up for added interest. And there I'm just checking to make sure that my wreath is sticking down. So I've added that piece of the American Crafts glitter tape. It's adhesive, which is fantastic, and you can do a lot with it. You could punch it. In the past I've used border punch with it. You punch shapes from it, and or just do what I've done and add it as a layer. That's another exclusive cut file, and with that one I didn't want to back it with anything. I've done another layout where I backed all the holes in the cut file, but I thought it would be a bit much, and also I'm down to the scraps. I don't even think I'd have enough paper at this point to do that, and I like the way it looks just plain white. Sometimes less can be more, especially when there's a lot going on with the paper at the top with the crosses and also the wreath. So now I'm adding some enamel dots, and these are the My Mind's Eye gold, they're like mirror stickers. It's been a while since I made this, so I'm trying to work out what I'm doing. And I can't even see what that is. Oh, it's a little tassel. So we got a half pack of the Maggie Holmes tassels, which I love, and I think I strung them on twine for most of my layouts that I use them on. That is a little die cut from Paige Evans' Fancy Free, and it says that faith is bigger than fear, which I thought was perfect because she obviously did not enjoy any part of this process until the cast was on. She actually, the second day she had the cast on, decided to try and take it off. So that was a bit of a worry. I had to tell her, no, you have to leave it on. Luckily, she only had it on for 3 weeks, and because it wasn't a bad break, and then she could have it off. So I've cut that little flower wreath in half, and I should have pulled it back to the left a bit more, and I didn't. So you'll see me fuss with this little die cut piece because I feel like it's covered up so much of the wreath, but it doesn't matter. I thought about putting the other side on the right, and looking at this on camera it looks good, but at the time I couldn't make it work. So here I am again trying to work out what to do with this so I can make the wreath be seen, but at the same time I didn't want to cut off too much of the photo of Brielle either, so I'm just going to have to go with putting it in the original position. So kind of funny story. After 3 weeks, we told her, well, I told her that the night before that we'd be going back to the doctor and that he'd probably take the cast off. So the next morning she came into my room and without the cast on, and she told me it had fallen off in the night. But what I think happened was because she heard me say it'll be coming off tomorrow, she decided to literally take matters into her own hands and remove it herself. And they were happy when they saw her with it coming off anyway, so thank goodness that she didn't have to have another one. So now I'm looking at these stickers, and I think I brought these across from another kit, I think. Or it could have been that they were from this kit, but I haven't got that many left now, so I'm just putting some of them down. And I was going to call it Dinosaur Cast, and I wanted to use a mix of these thickers that came in the kit and also the Take Me Away thickers that also came in the kit, but I don't have enough of the Take Me Away thickers to make it work. I'm all out of A's, and I think some of the other letters too. So in the end I just went with the black, and it looks perfectly fine. I think the last thing I did was add some splatters, and I think I machine stitched to hold those thickers down. So that there is the final layout. I can see I've added more enamel dots on there. I hope you enjoyed this process, and I really do hope that I'll be back again with some more process videos for you. Thank you so much for watching.